everybody. Hi friends. It's Jamie from Play to Learn Preschool, and I'm popping in on a Saturday afternoon. We're between sporting events here at my house, and I wanted to share two things with you. So first, lots of people were asking me yesterday when we were sharing our thematic boxes to share with them how I store all of those blue boxes in my classroom. So I'm going to give you a sneak peek at that. I'm sure we'll show it more when we do our full classroom tour, but I thought I'd just show you briefly how I have those stored around my room, really tucked into just little spaces that I can find everywhere. And then second, what I really wanted to share with you is how I label things in my classroom. So one of the questions I get most often is, how did you stick that down? Or, how did you make that folder game? Or I get a lot of that, and especially when I do training workshops here locally, and when I travel to different schools and I take things with me, I'll often pass supplies around or pass centers around, and I want to talk about the center or the activity, and 9 times out of 10 somebody raises their hand and says, that's great, but can you tell me how you made this? And so what I wanted to do is take a couple of minutes today to show you how I attach everything, how I adhere it to baskets and shelves in my room, and laminate. So let me first give you a little glimpse at our blue box storage, and then we're going to go over by my snack table area. I have set up the machine and everything that I use to label things. So I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm over here. I don't know if we've ever done a video that was over here in this corner of my room. So this is like my quiet space area over my shoulder. And then we have a little learning center table there. And then I'm standing in front of our dramatic play area. So I'm going to flip it around and show you what the blue boxes look like around my classroom. And then we're going to go sit down, and I will teach you how I label stuff. I like to label. Did you notice that trend? Okay, so let me flip it around and show you how I do my blue box storage. Okay, so this is my dramatic play kitchen area. And above it, we have these white the storage cabinets, excuse me. I'll show you what's inside of them on a different day. And then up above, I can fit 2 of the thin, oh, the light's a little weird. I can fit 2 of the thin blue boxes up there. So I actually have those in my room in a couple of different places. They're there, and then over here above that peekaboo board, I can fit a few more up there. And then over here above my snack table area is where I can fit the big ones. So they are tucked on top of all of my white storage cabinets. So, and then the other thing I wanted to show you is how I label everything. So it's really important for me to set the classroom up so that the students can be successful when they're ready to put their things away. And one of the ways we do that is by labeling the shelves, the toy baskets, and everything with pictures so that they can put it away when we say it's time to clean up. It is not a foolproof method. If you've ever looked at my Instagram and I post pictures of what happens when we try to clean up, you'll see that it is not 100%, but for the most part, by the end of the year, we're able to get them doing it. So I've opened a few of my kitchen cabinets over here in my dramatic play area. I'm gonna give you a peek at the labels, and then we're gonna go and I'll show you how to do it. So flip you back around one more time. So this is the play area. And inside the refrigerator, for example, I have baskets where they can keep the play food. And for example, this is the fruit basket. And I got this at the Container Store. See, Gemma says I can't go unchaperoned, but I did. And I bought these. They fit perfectly inside my, my play refrigerator. And inside there are all of our fruits and a package of chicken because, And what I've done is I labeled the shelf where the basket belongs, and also the basket itself. And I've done that for all of the food in our dramatic play kitchen. So when they take it out, they can put it back on the correct shelf. And I've also done it over here, like underneath there's like the stove and the oven area with a picture of what belongs under there. And over here, this is the sink area where we keep underneath the plates and cups and utensils. And so every shelf is labeled with a picture of what goes there so that they can kind of match it up. This one over here, maybe this one helps. A little bit better light. This one over here has our appliances. Again, it's just got a picture. But people, when I show this picture, they're like, oh, that's nice, but how did you get those to stick down? So I'm going to show you how I do that. Let me flip it one more time right back around. But I also want to tell you that you can print those labels free. They're a free gift or a free download on my blog. And the way that you do it is when you go to my blog, which is playtolearnpreschool.us, up at the top there's a little thing that says sign up for our newsletter. And when you sign up for that, you'll get a welcome email. It should come immediately. If you don't see it right away, it's probably in your spam folder or your promotions folder. And so you want to check there. But there's a link to my Google Drive, and you just click on the link. You can print all of the labels for yourself. And there's also name tag labels for playing house or for home living. Say mom, dad, brother, sister, grandma, and all those kinds of things. So let's walk back over to, I'll try not to bump into anything. Let's walk back over, and I'm going to show you how I make all of those labels. So I have two little projects set up for me. Give me 1 minute here to put this on the stand. Okay. Oops, excuse me. Okay, so, well, now when I practiced or when I tried it, it was fine. So let me see if this will work. See me? What's going on there? Sorry. Okay. So what I have over here is the tool that I use to laminate and cut and sticky everything. This is my trick. I use this Xyron machine. Now, I've had a Xyron machine since I was, I think, still a student teacher. I love it. This is probably, I was trying to decide when I was talking to Gemma, I just got this new one. Xyron sent it to me to try out, but I have, hey Gemma! Gemma is at home and she's still watching. So they sent it to me, but I think this is my 5th Xyron machine. I mean, I really love it. And the thing that I like about it is you don't have to plug it in. It's a sticky laminate. It's really fast. You only do what you need to do. Hi. She's commenting as Play to Learn. So if you see Play to Learn as the comments, it's really Gemma. And in addition to doing laminating and sticky, it also does magnets, so like a magnetic cartridge. It has like a repositionable sticky, so you can stick stuff down and move it around. And I love this. I'm so excited about the new one, and I want to show you how I use it. So here are 2 examples for how I use the Xyron. And I'm trying to prepare our October circle time and center activities. So these 2 that I printed are from our new pumpkin unit. In October, we're studying fall here at Play to Learn Preschool. Primarily, we're going to be talking a lot about, Gemma's coming. She says, hi, it's me, Gemma. I said, hi, that's it. So primarily in October, we're going to be studying spiders, but of course we're also going to be talking about how spiders come out a lot in the fall, and the machine is called Xyron. Look, it's like this. Isn't that crazy? I'll put a link to it. It's Xyron, and so I will put a link for it when I'm done showing you how it works. Okay, so I was saying I'm printing some things from our pumpkin unit, because I'm going to mix in, of course, pumpkins and fall with our study of spiders. So this is a little song that I wrote. It's called Pumpkin Picker. So one day during circle time, not that morning circle time, which is when we do the name song, but the midday circle time when I'll talk to you about the machine in 1 second. So the midday circle time when we do something thematic, like a little mini lesson, one of the things we might do is sing this song. I feel like I sing in every video. I'm sorry for that, but it's just this little song that says, have you ever picked a pumpkin, a pumpkin, a pumpkin? Have you ever picked a pumpkin that grows in a patch? A short one, a tall one, a big one, a small one. Have you ever picked a pumpkin that grows in a patch? So we're gonna sing this song. So I wanna prepare this song so I have it ready for my circle time. And then after we sing the song together, I'm gonna have them do a graph where they can vote. Have you ever picked a pumpkin at a patch? Have you ever been to the pumpkin patch to pick a pumpkin? And then they're gonna make a graph on our pocket chart. Yes, I've been to the pumpkin patch, or no, I've never picked a pumpkin at the pumpkin patch. So of course I just printed this out on my printer, and if I used it during circle time, it would get trashed probably. Certainly it would get wrinkled or folded, but it probably would also get torn, and then next year it would have to print the same thing. So what I want to do is prep this so that when we pull it out of our thematic box next year, it's ready to go, trying to save time. So the way that this Xyron works, it's Xyron again, X-Y-R-O-N, and I'll show you. I think Amazon is the best place, and I'll leave a link for where I find the best price on the machine and on the cartridges. So these cartridges just kind of slide on the inside. This is a new one, so it's heavy. So you get all these different cartridges. That one's my laminator, but what I'm going to do for this pumpkin song is I'm going to attach it to a piece of cardstock. I'm just trying to make it a little bit sturdier so that do you remember the other day when I did my silhouette and my paper got all jammed in there? That's so crazy. So, hold on, let me see this one. So, why won't it go in? All right, maybe we'll just laminate it. You know, before I turned the video on, it was totally fine, so. Let me show you this one in a minute, and I'll see if I can get it figured out. Okay, so, okay, so I would laminate this, and I'll show you through the Xyron machine, and let me show you that one in a minute. I'm not sure why that one figures, doesn't it? Okay, so another thing I'm going to be doing with I swear, Facebook Live and I have a very tumultuous relationship because I feel like everything is going fine and then there's some kind of a disaster. So here's another thing that we're going to be doing with our pumpkin unit, and I'm going to be making a folder game for the students to practice their shapes. And the way that this one works is inside this folder I'm going to stick down some black plain shapes. There's a hexagon, a rectangle, I'll tell you more about the machine in a minute, circle, and then I'm going to laminate these pieces and they have to try to match the pumpkin. I do need you here to help me, Gemma. What's going on with my machine? I might have to pull the old one out until I get this new one. So then they match the shape to the one in the folder. So let me show you first how I would laminate these for durability. So what we do is we just put it right here in this Xyron. It's a you just turn the handle like this, and it comes right through. And I think that I might pull my old one out just for a quick minute. What is going on with that? Hold on one second. I'm gonna pull, just ignore me for 1 second. I'm gonna pull my old machine out, my old trusty machine, and then I will show you. Okay. Whoops. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm gonna knock the camera over. See, I cannot function without Gemma. She needs to come back. Okay, I will talk to you about the machine. It's not heated. It's a sticky film. I'm gonna put the old or the new one away and show you the old one. It's not heated. Right, it's sticky. So this is a sticky cartridge. This one is laminate. And I'm gonna show you how these pieces go through. Live, I don't know how do people like in the morning shows do live TV, right? Like my silhouette the other day when I was doing that silhouette one, I have never in my life ever had a problem with that machine. Like unless I've made some mistake, it's never acted up on me. And then I put Facebook Live on and I go to do the silhouette and it prints it portrait and I had it landscape. That would figure, right? So it laminates. It's a really thick laminate, which I also like, and it's sticky. So I can cut, and I'll show you in just a minute, I can cut right around the shape and it doesn't peel off or anything. So I've got my pieces, and then what I want to do is stick these down to the inside of the folder. So I'm going to switch the cartridge. I'm going to take the double-sided laminate cartridge out, and I'm going to put in this permanent adhesive cartridge. And of course it just fits right into my old one because this old machine and I are like best buddies. The new machine doesn't know me very well yet. Maybe that's the problem. And so I found out something that's really important with the Xyron, that if you're laminating pieces, do not cut them apart before you put them through the laminator. So you want to put them through the laminator and then cut them apart. But the converse is true if you're putting permanent adhesive on the back of a picture. You want to cut them apart first and then put them through the permanent adhesive. And I'll show you why. And some of you might be thinking, why doesn't she just use a glue stick? Which is a good point. But the reason I don't use a glue stick is because there's no way to get that glue stick like edge to edge all over the back of the piece. And I also find that when I do use a glue stick, it's a little bumpy. You know, do you ever like glue something down with a glue stick and then it's got like ridges in it. And I don't know if you know this about me yet, but I'm a little bit particular about that kind of thing. And so if my pieces had bumps under them from a glue stick, I would probably do it over, and that would make Gemma crazy. And we do the best we can not to make Gemma crazy. So I use this permanent adhesive. So again, I'll talk to you more about the machine. This is called a Xyron. It's Xyron. It has different cartridges. I just used the laminate one, and now I'm going to use the permanent adhesive one. And it's basically like putting a gigantic glue stick all over your pieces. So you just stick the pieces in, like this, and you turn it. And the adhesive one, you don't have to worry as much about getting them right, you know what I mean, like straight. Like the laminate, of course, you want it to be exactly perfect. So I'm going to put all of my pieces through. It's really quick and easy. You just push them through. I've got 8 for this folder game. So I'm going to stick my pieces through, and then it has a little blade on the back that just cuts off. So then what these 8 pieces now have on the back is they all have permanent adhesive. So this top sheet peels off of the pieces and goes in the trash like this. So this piece is trash. And then these are like on stickers. They're like sticker paper. It's so fabulous. So I'm gonna make this into my folder game, and I've got a little cover I'll print off for it too. And you see I've already cut them out, which is important because all you're gonna do is just peel them off of the page and then stick them down. So I'm gonna stick these 8 shapes inside my folder. And again, this is one of the center activities that's in our pumpkin unit. If you go to my TPT store, teacherspayteachers.com, and my store is called Just Play to Learn Preschool, of course. And if you look for all of my circle time units, it says pumpkins, centers, and circle time for preschoolers. This is one of the centers. I think there's 10 circle time lessons and 10 centers that are included in there. And so I'll just give you an example. I'm going to stick these all down inside this folder. I'll show you some of the other fun things the machine can do. Denise says she has one too. I've had mine for 15 years too. It's fabulous, right? It's like the fastest way. I hate glue sticks, like I said, because they make everything bumpy underneath, and I'm really particular about that. So this, it sticks down. It's perfectly smooth. It's like you've made everything into a sticker. So I do that for my labels. Sometimes I'll run them through the laminator first, and when I do that, I want to put 2 papers like this, you know, front to back, and run it through the laminator and then cut it apart so it's only laminated on the front, and then I put it through the sticker machine. Okay, so I've got 2 more to go here for my little pumpkin shaped folder game. So I stick these pumpkin shapes down, and then this is just trash. This is like the back of the sticker paper. So we put that in the trash, and I think it's 60 feet of adhesive, so it lasts me, well, you know, I laminate everything and I stick everything down. I don't think you, Devaney, I'm not sure if I'm brilliant, but the Xyron is brilliant. So I stuck everything down to my inside of my folder, and then what I'm going to do is just cut these pieces apart. And my favorite tool for that is this. This is a Christmas present. Jen, wasn't this a Christmas present from you? It's a Fisker's cutter, and the reason I like this is because it has a little wire in the middle so you can see exactly where you're cutting. So I'm just going to cut apart the pieces. And again, if you weren't tuned in at the very beginning, I was saying that I like this actually better than a traditional laminator, because with a traditional heat laminator, you can't cut right against the edge because it might, you know, it might peel up. But if you use a sticker laminator, you can cut it right up to the very edge of the piece, and it will never come up, even if you want it to. So that's one thing. I wouldn't put anything that's really valuable to you, like don't laminate your birth certificate or your social security card or anything, because it will never come off if you mess up. But so I'm just cutting these pieces apart, and there are 8 of them. I'll cut 4 to show you. And so then to play this game, the students, when we're doing our pumpkin unit, will sit down with a folder. They'll see the shape. They'll look at the shape of the pumpkin. So this one is, thanks Devaney, she says Gemma's brilliant too. I agree. So this one is a square pumpkin, and then they're gonna match it to the square on the folder. And then this one is a triangle pumpkin, so they set it down on the triangle. And this one is an oval pumpkin, and this one's a pentagon. So, you know, and they're 8. And so it's really hard to rip these. It's really hard to bend them. Gemma, okay, Vicky is saying, I'm so confused, who is Gemma? Gemma is my co-teacher. She comes for most of my Facebook Live videos. So if you look back on my Play to Learn Preschool page, you'll see some of my old videos. And she's my partner in crime here at Play to Learn, but it's Saturday, and as we were saying yesterday, she actually doesn't live here at my house. She lives at her own house about 15 minutes away, and she's not at work today. So you're just stuck with me. So that's who Gemma is. She'll be back on Monday. Actually, I don't know if Monday or Tuesday she'll be back in the next video. So I'm not on Teacher's Notebook. Vicky also asked, just Teachers Pay Teachers and on my blog. Okay, so that's one way that I would use the Xyron. And then now that my machine, I switched back to my old trusty machine, but I'm gonna get that new one figured out because it is sleek and light and I love it. But now that I'm back on this one, I'm gonna show you. So this is that pumpkin picker song that I'm gonna use for circle time in October. And I'm gonna run it through the adhesive cartridge. So this is the permanent adhesive Xyron cartridge. Just like I was doing those black pumpkin shapes. So it's exactly the same, but I'll show you what I like to do with my circle time supplies is I like to mat them on cardstock because they get used really hard. I mean, I sing it during circle time and then I leave it out there at my easel at our circle time carpet, and the kids like to go and play school, and they like to play school and pretend like they're the teacher. So they use the supplies pretty hard. So I like to mat everything and make it really sturdy. Plus it's cute if it's on orange. So this is that pumpkin picker song that we're gonna sing during circle time. And I'm just going to stick it down to an orange piece of cardstock. And then like I was saying at the beginning of the video, after we sing the pumpkin picker song, then we're gonna make a class graph to find out if our students have ever been to a pumpkin patch to pick a pumpkin. So these are the graphing cards that I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna stick those down also. And then because I want it to be really sturdy and I really don't want to have to do this again next year, then after you mat everything, you can go back and laminate it. So if I take this adhesive cartridge out, which is so super simple, I just flip the laminate right back in, and then I can run it through. And I have this really great sign that I will use during circle time, and I'll laminate and make the graphing cards for our pocket chart. So this is how I stick everything down and how I make everything shiny. And shiny sticky things make me very happy. Again, like I said, this is called the Xyron. It's Xyron, and they just redesigned it, which I've used it, the new one, a few times, but I've had my old one for like 5 years. But the new one is really sleek. It has this really nice little carrying case. It's really lightweight, and the handle tucks down so you could fit it like in your bag, in your school bag. Hi Jack, hi Abby. This is so fun. And so these are actually pretty small. I don't know if you can tell, it's not that big, and I just store it in those white cabinets. I'm not going to show you today, but another fun thing that the Xyron does is it has this cartridge. Oh, I love this cartridge. And this one is spectacular because this one is laminate on the top. So whatever you put through will be shiny on the top, and it's got a very thin magnetic strip on the bottom. So it makes everything you put through it into a magnetic sticker. So I make all kinds of manipulatives and center activities for the whiteboard, like up on my whiteboard center. I just run it through this, and then there are pieces that they can stick up on the whiteboard, so it turns everything into a magnet. Now this is my special cartridge because it's a little bit more expensive than the others, so I try to use it I try to save this one. I try to conserve this one a little bit, but I love this. So it's a nice magnetic laminate cartridge. Okay, so just to recap, first I store my blue boxes on top of the white cabinets, and I will show you all of that when we do our full classroom tour, which will come soon. Jem and I are trying to figure out a time when we can both be here and give you, our full attention, because I think it'll be longer than our normal 10 or 15 minute video. And so we're gonna announce that on my Facebook page. I think I saw somebody comment, do I have an Instagram? Yes, I do. It's Play to Learn PS. My Facebook page is Play to Learn PS, and Pinterest is Play to Learn PS. My blog is playtolearnpreschool.us. Well, that's confusing. And my Teachers Pay Teacher store is just Play to Learn Preschool. So just to recap then, so the labels that I showed you at the beginning of the video that are in my kitchen are a free printable for signing up for my newsletter. So go to my website, playtolearnpreschool.us, and up at the top, in the top right-hand corner, there's this thing that says sign up for our newsletter. You put your email address in there. I'll send you a welcome email right away. So if you don't get it right away, it's in your spam folder. And there's a link, you just click it and print all of those labels if you want to label your own dramatic play center. And then if you want to make them shiny and sticky, when you label them, you can run them through your Xyron, which again is Xyron. I will put a link for it at the top of the video, so it's easy for you to find. And I think that's about it. We have some fun videos planned for next week. I'll answer. Okay, so we have some fun videos planned for next week, including Jem and I are going to talk about how our secret to working together so successfully. I'm not sure if there's a secret, but we've tried to pin down a few things that we think we do really well together. I'll give you a sneak peek at the centers that we have set up for our third week of school. We have a little list. Maybe I'll put that on the Facebook page too, so that you can see what we have planned. I will post all the links. Yes, I definitely will. And then Anne is saying she's having trouble with the daily reports. You can't change the font. Sorry. It's embedded in the PDF, so you can't change the fonts. So like I said in the other daily reports video, if you don't love that, just print it off and use it as a template and make one for yourself. Sorry about that. And yeah, you have to open all the PDF files that I've mentioned, always in Adobe. Okay, so I think that's it. That's my secret to making sticky, shiny labels. I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday afternoon, and I'll post links at the end. Thank you guys for joining in. This is so fun to see people I know, so have a good afternoon. Bye, everybody.